Budweiser Racing Across America. Tonight, live from the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, it's the Pegasus Handicap. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, relive the legend. By the Breeders' Cup, racing $10 million championship. And by Three Chimneys. The idea is excellent. Well, we've moved into fall and come out under the stars here at the magnificent Meadowlands. There are only 2 Grade 1 races left exclusively for 3-year-old thoroughbreds on the main track in 1988. And this weekend, we'll have both of them for you on ESPN. But tonight, the spotlight of racing is here for an event that honors the mythical winged horse Pegasus in the richest and most important 3-year-old race they run all year here at the Meadowlands. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you wherever you're watching across the country on ESPN, to New Jersey's biggest night of racing. Working with me, our expert on thoroughbred racing here at his home track, our announcer, Dave Johnson. Let's take a look now at the conditions of racing for the Pegasus Handicap with the Empire State Building in the background. It is a Grade 1 event. $300,000 guaranteed. They go 1 1/8 for the 3-year-olds. And a very interesting field here tonight. A record number of thoroughbred 3-year-olds are out trying for this big prize. And the big favorite is Brian's Time, a horse you've heard about all year long through the campaigns of the Classic year. And he is having a very tough time because he is the favorite in this race. The favorite among 14 in this field. Let's meet them now and find out why it's not such a good idea to be a favorite. To join my colleague, Dave Johnson.
Well, the history of favorites in the Pegasus, incredibly dismal. No gold for the public choices. In the first Pegasus of '81, Noble Nashua, who would win the Marlboro Cup, sent off the even money choice, finished 8th. In '82, Fit to Fight, a handicap Triple Crown winner the following season, was 4th. Preakness winner, Deputed Testimony, was 6th as the favorite in '83. And then the Travers winner of '84 came here, Cardinascra. He was 2nd at odds on. The Belmont winner, Stephen's Odyssey, was 2nd in '85. And 2 years ago, the trend continued when O'Geigen at 2 to 5 finished 3rd. Last year, the chalk players watched the favorite Lost Code finish 2nd. That means that no favorite has ever won the Pegasus. Now, we know who's going to be the favorite this year. It's Brian's Time. But 13 other 3-year-olds are going to take a shot at him and hope that history continues. Let's take a look at the full field. We start with the entry from Scotty Schulhofer's barn, Star Attitude with Jose Santos and Festive with Julio Pezua, the lightweight at 109 pounds, 20 to 1 the morning line. Congalore with Julie Krohn, another long shot, and Regal Classic starts at 7 to 2 with Sandy Hawley. Dynaformer at 8 to 1 with Gary Stevens. Blew 'em by with Chris Antley, and Crusader Sword with Jerry Bailey, those two at 10 to 1. Randy Romero, a late jockey change for the 7-horse. Air Worthy, another long shot. Sea Trek at 15 with Patrick Johnson. Brian's Time, the morning line favorite, 5 to 2 with Angel Cordero Jr. and the highweight, 121. Cephas, the 10-horse, with Larry Sawmell at 8. Din's Dancer at 6 with Jorge Velazquez. And the Mutual Field, 2 for the price of 1. Fiery Ensign with jockey Robbie Davis. And Great Normand with John D. Melendez. So a field of 14, a full gate. The setting for the Pegasus, the Meadowlands Racetrack. Showcase of great racing and the centerpiece of the sports complex. And here, with a message from the Thoroughbred Racing Associations and a look ahead, is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority, Bob Mulcahy.
It's nice to welcome all of our friends from ESPN and the Racing Across America program to America's nighttime racetrack once again. Having had 50 million fans come through here in the last 12 years, it's time that we did a little more than the ordinary capital maintenance program that we do every year. We're about to embark upon an $8 million refurbishing plan to put some of the new innovations that have come into play in the last several years, including making it easier for our fans to see simulcast races. We expect to do this over the next year and to have it completed within a year. This is a great evening here tonight. We have a great race with the Pegasus, and we're happy to be part of this program as a TRA member track.
Our horses are in the paddock for the Pegasus, and as we go now to our first commercial break, we want to pass along best wishes for a speedy recovery to the Meadowlands General Manager, Sam Anzalone, recovering at home after surgery. Sam, the Pegasus isn't flying quite as high without you here. Hurry back, and we're about ready to have our horses come to the track. We'll be back for the Pegasus. They're heading to the racetrack here for the Pegasus. We're going to take a look ahead at what may be one of the 3-year-old stars of next year in our Cardiff, California racing update. It was the first race Thursday at Belmont Park as the California Eclipse award-winning team of owner Eugene Klein and trainer Dwayne Lucas showed off their top 2-year-old filly, Some Romance. The daughter of Fabiano out of Zippy Doo had broken her maiden by 15.5 lengths earlier this month. And yesterday, in her first allowance start, galloped to an 8.25 length win, going 7 furlongs in 1:24.1 under California's top rider, Gary Stevens. Some Romance, a 2-year-old filly in the racing spotlight in this Cardiff Stud Farms California racing update. The horses on the track for the post parade for the Pegasus Handicap. And let's introduce them to you now. Starting with the entry, Star Attitude, a Keeneland sale yielding $60,000 price, trained by Scotty Schulhofer. First or second in 5 of 6 starts. 5th in his only stakes effort, the Jim Dandy. Jose Santos, the rider, won the Pegasus last year on crypto clearance. 1A, the other part of the entry, is Festive. Has not been worse than second in the last 4 outs. Julio Fazua is up, the young rider from Peru, and the entry is now 30-1. The number 2 horse in the post parade, the big gelding Congeler, making his 20th start tonight. That's tops in the field. He just ran for a claiming tag of $35,000 earlier this year, but he's won his last 2. Take a look at him. He's making his stakes debut, and the best rider in the Meadowlands is here, Julie Crone. She is the queen of this track, the leader. He is 8-1. The 3-horse down from Canada. You know of this horse, Regal Classic, has more wins, more money than any in this field. 2-year-old champion of Canada, the richest Canadian bred in history. 5th in the Kentucky Derby, 6th in the Preakness. He is the second choice right now at 4-1. Sandy Holly, the leading rider from Canada, is down for the mount. The number 4 horse is Dynaformer. Won the Jersey Derby and the Lucky Draw Stakes earlier this year. Trained by Dwayne Lucas. The fans really putting a price on this one, 14-1. Wayne Lucas has never won the Pegasus. The rider is Gary Stevens, the nation's top rider. The number 5 horse is Blue Byam. Has most success in the grass, but has really not had much of a pedigree for the dirt. Has only won 1 time on the dirt in 5 tries. Chris Anthony, the rider, second leading rider at the Meadowlands. 7-1 for Blue Byam. The 6 horse is Crusader Sword. Interesting story here. Mac Miller usually doesn't come to the Meadowlands, and this has been a real disappointment, this horse. He won the Hopeful at 2, looked to be a big 3-year-old, but has been very disappointing. His 8-1 has not won a stakes race since that 2-year-old victory. Jerry Bailey is the rider. The 7 horse is Airworthy. Has won 5 of 8 stakes, all at Detroit Racecourse. Really stepping up here, has only 3 starts this year, but 1-2. He's 30-1. Randy Romero, who's led the rider standings 18 different times at 8 different tracks, is on board tonight. Sea-Track, $47,000 Keeneland horse. Won the Rebel at Oaklawn for his only stakes win. Has not won since. 4th in the Prelude, 22-1. Pat Johnson, the rider. Brian's Time, here is the big favorite right now at 8-5. Would be the first Pegasus favorite to win in this year in the 8-race history of this event. Was last in the Woodward just 6 days ago. The rider, one of the best, Angel Cordero Jr., the newest Hall of Fame member. Number 10 from the barn of Woody Stevens, this is Cephas. He won the 86 Pegasus, Woody Stevens did. Cephas won only the Tampa Bay Derby this year, but he always seems to get a check. Larry Sawmill is the rider. Number 11, Din's Dancer. He comes from Jack Van Berg stable. Has never won a stakes in 8 tries, but his last out in the Jerome Handicap, he was second, was 3rd in the Jim Dandy. The rider, Jorge Velasquez. Fiery Ensign, the field horse, 1 of 2 in the field. Robbie Davis, the rider of this, who won our Young America Stakes last October, but now in the field. And Great Norman rounds out this field, number 13, another part of the field. John Melendez, the rider, stepping way up here. This horse has beaten a total of 67 lengths in his first 3 starts. And this horse now at 14, or I should say the field, at 14-1. Well, that is a look right now at our field for the Pegasus. We told you it was a big field. 14 horses going tonight. Again, the strong favorite is Brian's Time. Let's give you now a closer look at some of our top contenders here as we again join Dave Johnson to look at our stars tonight.
Brian's Time will try to rebound quickly from a disappointing finish in the Woodward just 6 days ago. In that race, Brian's Time trailed throughout and could make no impact in the stretch. The Woodward was run in track record time, so perhaps finishing 9 lengths behind Ali Sheba was no disgrace. There are no Ali Shebas in this Pegasus field. Now, the Jim Dandy was one of his best races as he weaved his way through traffic and then drew away in the final furlong to win by 5.5. But trainer John Beach is at a loss to explain his poor showing in the Woodward.
He's been very consistent throughout his entire racing career this year and had never really put in a bad race. He did in the Woodward. He came back fine. He's been exceptionally good ever since. He's trained well the last 2 or 3 days. So we felt that we'd take a shot in the Pegasus. Although it is very close, he should run very well.
Regal Classic has been third or better in 15 of 18 career starts, including this game victory over stablemate Regal Intention. Regal Classic on the outside. The Chestnut Colt was touted as the second coming of Northern Dancer after a highly promising 2-year-old campaign, and his career earnings of $1.3 million almost double those of any other starter in the field. Now, Dynaformer is a stretch runner who has had his moments this year. In the Jersey Derby, he outfinished his more highly regarded stablemate Czar Baby to win by half a length. And Gary Stevens, who's battling Jose Santos for the money-winning title, rides Dynaformer for the first time in the Pegasus tonight.
Welcome back as you look live at Brian's Time. He is the favorite here again tonight. Quite a story, the fact that he is back here after only running just, 6 days ago in the Woodward Stakes, where he finished last. Quite a disappointment. Let's take a look now at a championship moment of the past from the Breeders' Cup.
Hollywood Park was the site for the inaugural Breeders' Cup, and a capacity crowd witnessed a star-studded field in the first race, the $1 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Chief's Crown lived up to his billing as America's best 2-year-old with a determined drive to the wire.
They're inside the final furlong, and here comes Chief's Crown on the outside. He's taken the lead, and a champion is crowned.
Chief's Crown provided the first Breeders' Cup championship moment.
We invite you to stay with us on ESPN this week in our continuing live coverage of the Payne Weber Invitational, the Senior PGA Tour. Saturday's third round coverage of this $300,000 event starts at 1:30 Eastern, Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern, here on ESPN. Well, they're approaching the starting gate here. It's time to meet the Budweiser long shot now for the Pegasus Handicap. Here he is.
To find tonight's Budweiser long shot, we went to one of the 5 boroughs of New York City, the Bronx, home of over 1.5 million people, including 2 lifetime friends, John Caputo and Joe Russo, 2 guys who decided to buy a racehorse.
We didn't think we were going to get a Secretariat. We just wanted to get in, win at least one, and I just wanted to be in the winner's circle just once.
Trainer Richard O'Connell recommended an unraced 2-year-old named Congalore. They put up $15,000 each, and in early January, they got their wish. They were in the winner's circle at Aqueduct. But since then, Congalore has won 4 more races, including his last 2 starts. First by a neck in a $31,000 allowance race in August, and then earlier this month, he won another allowance race by a nose. The $30,000 investment has now won over $108,000. And tonight, here at the Meadow, the number 2 horse is 15-1. Just 1 horse behind the gate. That's Din's Dancer, all in line. And they're off. Along the inside, Congalore goes for the lead out in the middle of the racetrack. Here comes Festive, charging up. After that, it's Fiery Ensign. Passing the stands for the first time, Congalore with Julie Crone on the inside, in front by a head. Fiery Ensign between horses second, Din's Dancer on the outside third. Regal Classic tucked in at the rail is racing fourth by a head. Then comes Festive in fifth on the outside. Crusader Sword is sixth by a head. Airworthy is seventh. On the outside, Great Normand is in ninth position, followed by Sea Trek. Then along the inside, it's Dynaformer. Star Attitude is next. It's 6.5 lengths back to the trailers. Brian's Time, who's 13th, and Cephas 14th. The half in 45 and 4 down the backstretch. Jorge Velazquez has Din's Dancer on the outside, in front ahead. Julie Crone asks Congalore for more speed and gets it. Now the battle on the front end. Congalore on the inside. Din's Dancer on the outside. Those two are stride for stride, with Fiery Ensign in third. Along the inside, Regal Classic fourth, Festive is fifth and gaining on the outside. Then Blue Biome between horses is next. Along the inside, Dynaformer, followed by Brian's Time, who's now seventh and looking for racing room toward the inside rail. As the field straightens away in the stretch, Congalore with Julie Crone leading it by 3 parts of a length. On the outside, Festive challenges. Din's Dancer is next. Then comes Brian's Time. Regal Classic looks for racing room. And down the stretch they come. Here comes Brian's Time on the outside with Cordero aboard. In front at the wire by half a length. Festive gets the place spot. Congalore was third. And the time for the mile and an eighth, 1 minute 47 seconds. Far back, 13th in the early going, Cordero found some traffic at the top of the stretch and behind a wall of horses scooted Brian's Time to the outside and wore down the very stubborn Festive in the final strides. 1:47, a heck of a race for Brian's Time, and a favorite finally wins the Pegasus, Chris.
Dave, they've smashed the stakes record here that was 1:48.3 last year by Crypto Clearance. They were, what, 2/5 of a second off the track record here, 1:46.3. Brian's Time, the winner. Closer look at this big victory by Brian's Time. Of course, owned and bred by Mr. and Mrs. James W. Phillips. Mrs. Phillips, the daughter of the late John W. Galbraith, who, of course, passed away this past July, founder of Darby Dan Farm. Let's go now to Dave Johnson, a closer look at how Brian's Time did it, Dave.
Well, he did it from way. There he is, 13th in the 14-horse field down the backstretch. And although the fractions were, well, ordinary, I guess 45 and 4 for the half, watch Cordero make a very daring decision. He stays on the inside. And in talking with my producer, Steve Negative, just a minute ago, he said it reminded him of Cannonade's victory in the Kentucky Derby, which, of course, was won by Angel Cordero. And as you see the action up front, the Budweiser long shot at 15-1 is hanging tough with Julie Crone there. But here comes Festive on the outside, and Cordero splits horses. He's wearing the white cap, and the horse closing fastest of all on the outside. And this son of Roberto, Brian's Time, becomes the first favorite to win the Pegasus. He comes up and beats Festive, who was ridden by Julio Pezua, who carried only 110 pounds, 1 pound of overweight. A brilliant victory for a brilliant horse, Brian's Time. There's Cordero.
There he is, Angel Cordero, newest member of Racing's Hall of Fame. Of course, he's won over $100 million in his colorful career. What a ride he put on him, as Dave showed you right there. We'll have it official for you in just a moment. When we come back, it is a stakes record, just 2/5 off the track record. Brian's Time heads back to the barn.
Brian's Time, the winner. John Veach, the trainer. Was this a daring move to wheel him back in only 6 days?
David really wasn't. You know, the thing about it was that he didn't use himself at all in the Woodward. And he came out of the race in great shape. He was as bright and fresh as the day that he went into it. And since he didn't use himself at all, I thought that, you know, that this would be a good spot for him. He was fit, he was ready, and we've found in the past that he really doesn't like Belmont Park. There's something about the racing strip he doesn't care for, and he liked this today here.
He sure did. Thanks. Congratulations, John. And over to Chris with Angel Cordero.
Angel, quite a ride, and he's looking like he's was behind a few horses. Tell us about that daring move to the inside, Angel. Why'd you stay in there?
Well, it was a lot of horses, and half of them didn't belong in the race. They were stopping in front of everybody, and I had to do like a football player running a touchdown. I had to go in and out, but a good horse can help you to do anything.
Yeah, so can a good rider. Angel, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Angel Cordero, the winner on Brian's Time. It is official here. Let's take a look at the prices here, and they're the lowest in the history of the Pegasus because a favorite finally won this race. $440, $340, and $280 for Brian's Time. $147, a new stakes record, 2/5 off the track record of the mile and an eighth. Festive, $20, $20, and $12.20, and Congalore at $380.